to the Grinch. I gotta start putting tape over here so I can make my own ghetto blackout. But anyway, do a live stream with that because I for real could use that. But anyway, what's up with y'all? So we're gonna do. I'm waiting for something real quick. So we're gonna do a quick news round while I'm waiting for this bullshit. You know, it ain't that much that happened in the news, but I just want to have an excuse to run my mouth for a second while I'm waiting for this. So anyway, definitely I'll be hitting y'all in the comments a little bit quicker. Like I said, I'm gonna definitely try to work on some of these videos, some of these, especially the one with the amendment thing. But we'll get to that. I'll get to that later. But anyway, so I'm in. First of all, if y'all ain't been, if y'all don't fuck with O'Shea, you don't fuck with O'Shea. But if you all have not been in O'Shea's chat group, not chat group, but the Facebook group, this shit shows me it's all right, but motherfuckers be wilding out as far as I forgot how female centric Facebook can be. I really did. Like, because for the most part, my main account is for people that I know and are in my and that I deal with on a business level. And then I got my Edward account, which is really just people I've built out through, for the most part, YouTube. So when it comes to engaging in these conversations, shit that I have not heard in a long time, I've heard. Like, how do we heal, and just the basic shit. And it's like, wow, man, the emotionalism, the just I don't know, man. It's just I just forgot how dumb people can be. I really did. But anyway, shout out to that group. If y'all see the invite from me, definitely take it. You know, it's an all purpose group, but the group is I gotta admit it is action packed. It's always posted there. There's always something to comment. If you bored, you can go in there. It's literally like a chat feed. Think of it like a hashtag feed, and it's always flowing. Um, I put some posts up there, and it does well. So I'm definitely gonna look at it at maybe some growth purposes, but I definitely just wanted to add value to the chat as far as adding my stuff, adding some of my perspective. It's not really even though gender shit comes up, it's not just about that. You can do anything in there, so it is what it is. I just wanted to promote that a little bit, and I might put the link in the description, but it is what it is. Now, with that being said, man, man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. One of the things I wanted to talk about real quick, and I actually got to hit up BGS with the email. I want to get BGS. I want to get Roger on this one. And I'm think about doing a stream either tomorrow or Sunday. I don't know, but I want to talk about. I've talked about this before, but I want to revisit this. I definitely want to get Obsidian on this too. Is desirability. This is a word, and shout out to BGS's video that he did on it. But and I gotta constitute that. But with black men, this word desirability. I've always asked. A lot of people say that certain people. I'm not even gonna mention their names, but there's people that my points and their points are almost virtually indistinguishable. There's a couple of people say that, and it's like I know what the difference between what I say is and what they're saying, but I can understand why it's virtually indistinguishable if you don't know how to read between the lines. And the thing that I've realized, and like I said, it hit me when BGS put a video about this about a month, like 6 weeks ago, was that desirability factor. No walking Prince. Well, walking Prince. No walking Prince. Whatever. Now Ed talk about let us be basic. I mean, I'm not anyway. Dude, I'm out here. It's quarantine season. So whatever. Oh, y'all be talking about them. First of all, okay, let's talk about the sweatpants that I have. So number one, I got multiple sweatpants. For those of y'all don't know, sweatpants are not cheap. Have y'all ever really like bought some sweatpants? Sweatpants and really paid attention to it. Sweatpants do not seem like they're worth the cost. even though they are very user friendly. Now, the ones that I have are sweatpants that I got that I did get a little too small. But at the end of the day, if I'm just trying to put something on and I'm not trying to worry about, trying to like tighten it up all the time or worry about the shit sagging on some stupid shit, they do the fucking job. So at the end of the day, there's something that I wear around the house. That's something, the fact that they have prints, that just is what it is. Then if they didn't, they'd be like fucking yoga pants looking stupid. So it is what it is, man. So that answers that for somebody that really cares about that shit. But anyway, going back to this desirability piece, I've said that there's two issues that black men have. Black men have an ego problem, and black men have a an ego problem, and black men have a guilt problem. These are the general elite psychological Achilles heels that black men tend to come out the gate with, for the most part, in the law of averages. A third one, and I said this before, I'm gonna say it again, is desire, is this need to be desired. Men are not supposed to want to be desired. They're not. You know why? Because men are really not supposed to care about being liked. Men are supposed to care about being respected. Men are supposed to aim about being respected because being respected is an element of power. Being desired is not power. Being respected is power. A lot of people don't like Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin is a powerful motherfucker. Most people don't like Donald Trump. A lot of people do not really like Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a powerful motherfucker. When you look at even black men that's got money and wealth, they're not always the most liked, but they are powerful. The problem is most black men are taught, and let's be fair, they're taught by their mothers, but at the end of the day, men reinforce this shit too because they go along with it, is they're taught that your value is how you're liked. This is why dudes are always worrying about how they look, because they keep score based on who likes them. And generally, that always flows to women because at the end of the day, black men are not trying to fuck other dudes. They're trying to fuck women because it's a biological imperative. So that's that's how that shit mixes. And this is why when women say shit, it can have an effect on brothers because at the end of the day, that's how brothers are keeping score. If you think about how other people operate, there are certain things that we say that you would never hear other groups say when they're having conversations about each other, especially when they're keeping score or they're trying to establish a hierarchy. They're not going to say, I fuck more bitches than you, so therefore, blah, 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 blah. Not to a dude that's got more money than they do. And I mean, clearly more money than they do. Women may be a tiebreaker, but women is never like the be all end all. It's mainly with black men where that shit is like the universal like sword. Like that's the thing, that's the Joker card. That can overwrite anything. It can be anything. It doesn't matter if you ain't shit, you getting bitches. And this is ironic because when women are talking shit about dudes, they're only talking about dudes they want to fuck. Because a lot of what they're complaining about has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with what they're doing, it has everything to do with their powerlessness. It's almost like somebody that's on crack complaining about crack. At the end of the day, you have a love-hate relationship with it because you love it and you can't be without it and you can't imagine your life without it. This is that Atari Dallas situation. That's why I give her credit because she said it. Obsidian, shout out to Obsidian Bernard Riley. Obsidian said this. She put it out there. She said what it was. She told the truth. That is what telling your truth is. Saying this is what it is and this is what I like, and I'm not. It just is what it is. I'm gonna have to learn to deal with the good and the bad. It's just like if you like food, you're gonna have to accept being fat. It's just like if you like crystal meth, you're gonna accept not having teeth. It's just the consequences of anything. I mean, it's not even consequences. It's actions and equal reactions sort of thing, right? And that's part of being an adult. Society teaches men to own their shit. Black men have to own their shit more than anybody else has to own their shit. But what society doesn't, but women are allowed to kind of be in this lull state where the consequences don't hit you until later on. Think of consequences for women like karma. And by the time it hits you, you can't adjust. See, men can get smacked around like Operation. So you learn what to do and what not to do. You learn how to move in your environment. You have quick. Otherwise, your shit gonna be fucked up. This is why, if you notice, gay black males don't tend to know how to do that because they operate like women because they're allowed to have more rope because again they establish themselves as a non-threat versus dudes very rarely, unless they on some kamikaze shit, really operate jump out of their purview because they've learned what their environment is, how to navigate it. Shout out to Artie Igmar. We were kind of having a intense debate about that, but it's something. But one thing in that conversation is what you understand on both sides of it is people are hyper aware of their environment in a deep level. They are aware in a way that other groups don't have to be, including women. And I'm not talking about that as far as it being fair because it's actually a weakness. Because if you're in a society where you can never really, it's kind of like being blind and understanding echolocation. If you're blind and you have no echolocation, you really don't have an ability to really see like that. If you're blind and you're deaf, you're fucked. And that's kind of like how socially how a lot of women are because socially they're not really given the proper consequences that really will give them more of a long-term kind of investment strategy socially when it comes to mating and dating. They're taught to speculate. Like if you speculate in the stock market or you speculate with forex, they're taught to speculate all the time. And speculation is not easy. And most people fail doing it. And most of the time, you have to have a lot of value to get a lot of value out of it, aka let's call it beauty currency. This is why you see certain people can win and certain people can't. This is the light skin, dark skin complaint, to be honest. So going back to the desirability of black men are taught to seek desirability. And it's not only that they're taught to seek it, they embrace the shit. They embrace desirability. That's what matters. Nothing else matters like being desired. And it's not just by black women, it's by women. And I'm not saying you're not supposed, well, I have said you're not supposed to be, but to the extent that black men take it, it's like it opens you up. It's an Achilles heel. And other men have used this against black men, and they often use it against black men. This is why when a lot of these dudes are famous, or a lot of these dudes are coming, not even famous, they're coming up through the pipelines, whether it's football, basketball, whatever. Women are put in front of them as a form of conditioning them. Dudes, or a lot of dudes, Jews used to pay dudes and bitches and not pay them in real money until you got dudes like Jay-Z and other dudes. And Jay-Z was obviously not the first. There was others, but the first from a rapper level to really look at that. Other LL Cool J, was big about his money, but LL Cool J just had good deals. He didn't necessarily create his own deals until later on. But you get what I'm saying. And this is something dudes don't think about because dudes embrace it. This is not a young dude thing. This is an old dude thing. And see, the first thing that folks are gonna say, dudes are gonna say when they're hearing me, is they're gonna say, "Oh, you're mad because you ain't getting enough pussy, or you hate," because that's like Denzel's character from the second Equalizer said, men like you would think that, and that's why you don't ever see the shit change. And that is one of the main pillars that really holds the gynocracy up from the black standpoint. It's not the biggest pillar, but it's one of the main ones. Because dudes, they don't have an identity outside their women. Their women are not in addition to their identity. The women is their identity. Whether it's your mama, whether it's the bitch you fucking, whether it's the idea of a bitch and what they're not doing. And this is why people get very confused when they're hearing me talk because I'm telling you that you from a here's the thing. If somebody wants to say they're pro black, at the end of the day, you're either pro fix it or pro not fixing it. It doesn't matter. You're either in one or the other. Now, what you're willing to do may vary, but you're in one camp or the other. You may think you're in the pro fix it camp, or not fix it, not fix it or remain the same. What you have with a lot of dudes that are pro-black is they fall themselves in perpetual negotiation because they have this belief that their women, they can actually convince their women to actually be submissive and not force them into it. Again, that's that desired bullshit. This is why dudes are always out here trying to find out what can they do to please a woman. What can they do for women to voluntarily go into submission because their belief is is that if you just work hard enough, they'll just have no point but to bow down. That's not true because that's not what their real goal anyway. Their goal is actually to have you like a German Shepherd, an effective trained animal. Whether they want to consciously believe that or not, that's what the goal is. That's what they've been conditioned to do. And the reality is, you got dudes that they don't even question that. That's why when you bring it up, they don't know how to handle the information. This, they just don't. They don't understand that that you're not saying to get away from black women because you hate them. You're saying that as a man, you have to basically put all options on the table because that is the only thing they really respect. That's the only true display of power you can really put out there. Because some they can't argue, they can't fight. This is the only way you can really checkmate them is to say, look, I don't have to pick you. I I'm already pre-qualified. It's not even about non-black women, even with ADOS women. Because women, think about it. Why do you think dudes that are married tend to have an easier time with women that are not married, or women are always looking for dudes that are married to like cheat on because they've already been pre-qualified. So that's already been stated like unconsciously. Anyway, let's see what y'all doing. Thoughts 6ix9ine? Man, I don't hate his ass. And quite frankly, as far as 6ix9ine, I mean that's a failure. That's an L black people got to hold because we don't have a good enough vetting process. We basically say because these corporations put these dudes out there hyper promotion that they get accepted because as black people we have this need to need to be the most accepting. So that's the L we have to hold. Anything he does is our fault. Welcome Edward Anderson, Blair Witch Project. You might get dizzy. Oh, please no walking prints. That's funny. Just keep the camera towards the sky, sir. Oh, that's funny. As you can see, I don't give a shit, Alvin. I get all my sweats from the thrift store. Yeah, Ed, you might see sweats is not something I really like getting from the thrift store. I don't know what it is. That's something I just. But you get them things that you put money in it. And see, I'm talking about even if you don't get the stuff that's like on brand. Like I had something with my mouth, so if I sound a little bit different, that's why. Well, Ed the beefsteak, it's nothing wrong with getting clothes from the thrift store. I know dudes that women have complimented on how they dress, and I ain't talking about old dudes that are married. That I have a boss. I had a boss like that, black dude. So when it comes to so when it comes to so when it comes to but see that's something you don't that's something that don't even got to be promoted. That's called being financially smart. Because at the end of the day, what a lot of people will do is they'll have clothes, their base clothes that they'll get from the thrift store, especially clothes and work and stuff, and then they'll have clothes that they can build on top of that. But see, people don't think about that because niggas are always trying to be fresh to death because they tricking for bitches. Let's just be clear here. I missed the foot shots with the unlaced shoes. Less dizzying. Yeah, I'm being lazy. I need to stop doing that because I rarely go back through my videos and look. And I've looked at them and I realized I'm like, God damn, man, that shit is annoying as fuck. I'm gonna start putting the camera over because yeah, I can see how that could be annoying. You be hitting us with the dick print when you dropping content sometimes. That carry. Alvin, you the first person to say that. Edward goes on other streams, nigga this, nigga that. Stop ruining other people's streams, man. That's James. That's James. I'm sorry if you don't like me being on other streams. I do what I do. Them motherfuckers don't have to let me on their streams. You do realize that, right? That should tell you the type of cachet I have in the manosphere. The fact that I can just jump on other people's streams. So you're going to have to deal with that. And trust me, as many streams, I'm not always, number one, I'm not always on other people's streams. And number two, I'm not always on people's streams for an extended long period of time. So it is what it is. Hispanics and white support, of course they support them, but black people support them too. Black people give them credibility. And at the end of the day, we just have to have a better defense mechanism for our. This is not about being pro black. This is about being pro competition. This is about understanding that we have things of value. We have to protect. Again, there's no like good old boys network. There's a good old girls network with black women, but there's not a good old boys network. And like I said, dudes don't never really think about that. This is why they'll, oh, why do you care? Because they don't ever think about it. But this is why dudes like to operate as individuals. Because you got way too many dudes that as a group, what's up, Ice God? As a group, dudes get on that gynocracy shit because they don't know how, because they've never been taught. And people don't ever want to think about that. And this is why, and my thing is, if you're not gonna solve that problem, then quite frankly, what the fuck are we really talking about? Other than, how can individuals just have better outcomes? And a lot of people don't like to think about it that way, because what a lot of people are doing is they like to basically emotionally connect with motherfuckers. They like, oh, connect with us on the pro. How do we heal? How do we do? Yes, queen. Yes, king. Like, this bullshit. I'm like, you motherfuckers. Like, for instance, now I'm about to switch up a little bit. For instance, let's take this little boozy thing, this little Boosie, whatever his fucking name is. I don't give a fuck. He made his name that. That ain't my job to pronounce it right. Shit. Everybody wants to jump on him because of quote unquote what he did, or what he says he did with getting a bitch to give him some pussy or give him head, whatever. I ain't even gone up in this story. And everybody want to talk about pedophilia. You know what I haven't heard? You know what I have not fucking heard? I haven't heard not one motherfucker actually mention, a bitch did it though. You act like, yes, he's an asshole, and he's being a bad father doing that. That is a stain. That's a black mark. I'm not just, but at the end of the day, let's keep this real. A chick still did that shit. So what does that say? What does that say? And you know what kills me about that shit? When I'm talking about Nicki Minaj's brother doing what he did to that little black girl, nobody talks about the fact that the mom was still was in custody of those kids. Nobody talks about that shit. Nobody talks about that was her responsibility, and it's somebody that brought. See, they want to look at her like a victim and not somebody that's negligent. And I'm not trying to change the subject, because if Boosie loses his son because of that, then that's on him. I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna say that's wrong. So I'm not arguing that. But what I am saying, and see what a lot of chicks like in that group, because this allows me to fuck with people. They be like, it doesn't matter, pedophilia is pedophilia. Get the fuck out of here. Because you saying pedophilia like he fucked his son. You're not saying it like the chick did it. Cause you ain't mention it, and nobody never does. And I ain't really trying to start shit in a group like that, not yet at least. But I should put that in there. Y'all ain't had nothing to say. And then motherfuckers, I was talking about Nicki Minaj and the motherfuckers she fucking, and she's like, oh well, but her fans hate it. No, it's not about her fans hating it. She shouldn't even be allowed to really make money on the mainstream airwaves. Because if you really are about some serious shit, that should be a no-go. Just like how before Rihanna got all this money via makeup, right? If Rihanna would have went back to Chris Brown, Rihanna's ability to make money would have been fucked up. Then white women would have got her canceled. That before canceling was a thing, they told her that. And that's why you never really saw her publicly go to Chris Brown. And Chris Brown is really who she wanted. That's why she been hoeing with everybody else. Because everybody else, she just fucking. Versus Chris, actually, that's kind of like how Kim Kardashian was with Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush was the dude she really wanted. If she could get a Reggie Bush type dude with Kanye money, she'd be straight. But at the end of the day, she was, and I'm telling, whatever. Don't you get what I'm saying? Yeah, that shit annoys me because it's not serious. These dudes are not serious in the deep. Like, I've gone deep enough. And again, I understand it's YouTube and social media, so that on its own, very like only like 5% of them dudes are serious. Shout out to Information Man. Shout out to Q Butter. Those dudes are serious, and you can have a serious conversation. I'll give them that. Obviously BGS, but for the most part, so I get the you, but even beyond the YouTube stuff, and when you actually talking to the real folks that do the real work, at the end of the day, they not on some gynocratic shit, but they on some matriarchal shit where their women are leading them. And I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do. It's irrelevant, because if you don't fix that problem, it's not going to work, because structurally it's broken. I don't understand how you don't understand that. It's like having battleships in the age of aircraft carriers. It's over. And if you don't understand that, you're going to find that out real quick as soon as you got to go up against somebody else. It doesn't work. and nobody wants to really address that, and it's not going to be addressed because there's too many people in on it. Like there is no other group has an incentive to deal with that because they get to be above black people because of that. And black women are pretty much they're allowed to be lulled in this state where they're above black men, even though they're at the bottom of everybody else. So they're gonna complain. But at the end of the day, they got just like how poor white people, poor white trash on some well, at least I'm better than niggas. Um Black women like at least I'm better than black men. And they don't understand that black men really don't give a shit like that. And this is why they get upset that black men don't give a shit. This is why what have you built? What have you even though whatever. The point is, that fucks them up. Because at the end of the day, that shit fucks them up later on in life. This is why when motherfuckers saying hoes are winning, I'm like, ask a old hoe. Um, it doesn't matter what Reggie had and Kanye West doesn't. The point is she liked Reggie Bush. And you can see in that relationship. I see you trying to trap me with that bullshit, but like she liked Reggie Bush. And to a woman, that's all that matters. She legit like she would have stayed with Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush dumped her. And she tried to make that work. And you can tell by how she operated. She circled back to Kanye because Kanye is even now he's on an upward slope. And she knew she did. I'm gonna tell you, you know what she fucking did? She did a LeBron James. She did what dudes do when they fuck around. I've seen this in real life. Dude, and not even necessarily fuckboy dudes. Dudes that they wait till they get 29, 28, they fuck around and they circle back to the chick that would some of these chicks be legit waiting. Didn't have kids or anything like that. And dudes will circle back. And I know quite a few dudes like that. And they're still married and whatever. They're not even cheating. They circle back. That's what she did. She circled back. And the thing about it is she circled back to the dude that and also remember, say what you want to about Kim. Kim has a tape, obviously. But see the problem is these women think about it. Women are a lot more horrier that's a word as a group than when that tape was controversial. That tape is not even controversial anymore. Think about that. That's not even controversial. But anyway, at the end of the day, she didn't have kids. So, I mean, you can say what you want to about Kanye, and I mean, I'd be interested for people to say who's simping, who's a big simp. Would you rather a chick who had an OnlyFans account but no kids, or would you rather deal with a chick that appears to be classy but she with a nigga like Future and got a nigga background like that? Because if you compare the motherfuckers Kim fucked with versus the motherfuckers that Sierra fucked with, and I don't even bring up Sierra because it was something to do was discussing in a post in that group. Technically, you can have more respect for the dudes that Kim fucked with than Sierra. Even though, 50 is cool, but even look at his shit. Everybody hate his ass. Don't be mad if I abruptly kill this. Yeah, what's up, AM1? Yeah, AM1, man, you be kicking facts on your stuff too. I still gotta have the light skin panel so motherfuckers get mad. It's funny when you see all when light skinned dudes come together, these motherfuckers get just like white folks. They be like, what are these light skinned people doing congregating? What the fuck? Instantly. I've seen that shit. I and one like don't believe the hype with this coronavirus. Anyway, I would have blown a gasket. What was the video about, Ice God? What do I mean, LeBron? Yeah, LeBron was smart. But see, the thing about it is LeBron, which is interesting because LeBron's mom's like, don't I mean y'all know? I don't even gotta say it. Black men don't cheat. Look, man, I tell females like real talk. I don't even massage these chicks with it. If you know, look, like dudes learn how to fuck. Even here's the thing a lot of people don't understand about tricking. If you go overseas, let's say you a dude and you don't get pussy, right? So what do you? So what? Like honestly, like most dudes don't got confidence. If you ain't, you got to fuck to have confidence and all that. Blah blah blah. The point is, go overseas, do the trick and circle, get you some sessions, work practice. If any reason why I've ever said, like, if you ever seen me agree with that with the sex tourism thing, that's actually why. Do that, and look, ain't don't nobody gotta know. Do that shit. And then it is what it is. That way, you fuck a couple of bitches that look much better than most of the bitches you dealing with in these states. You ain't gonna worry about what the fuck they doing like that, nigga, nigga, nigga. What the fuck are you doing? I'm about to say this motherfucker walking right by me and shit. Fuck y'all light skinned and these motherfuckers in this contactless bullshit kills me. I need to get a fryer so I can make my own. I need to get like a fryer so I can make my own fucking wings, man. That's an investment I need to make. In fact, I'm about to get one of them fucking air fryers. Shout out to New Wave. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Yeah, fuck, nigga YouTube. You look at some of these cook some of these black folks are killing it. Black women too. Hold on one second. Hey. Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. So let me get this here. Let me do it right here. That way it gives me room. All right. Yeah, I gave you a $2 tip in the thing. Yeah. Appreciate it, man. Mm-hmm. Anyway. I got a question for Edward. Where you suggest to go for study abroad, but you still do some overseas tricks? Shit, that's a good question. Super Triz might be better for that. Not because Super Triz tricks, but he's got more experience. I would say Europe. But see, Europe, you really don't need to trick. You really don't. Anyway, hold on one second. Anyway, peace out, y'all. I've been managing good. I'll get back to y'all. Peace out.